Alright, what's up everybody? It is I, your tribal metal god of extreme, Peter Joseph here, for a beautiful, warm Wednesday afternoon video right here on Metal God 669. And as always, thank you for watching. Make sure you like the video and subscribe right now. Do it now! Or the Undertaker will come out and kill you and make you do it. But I digress. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it is a beautiful, warm/hot Wednesday afternoon, June the 11th, 2025, as we're about a week away from the official start of summer. So we're getting there. We got Flag Day this weekend, but nobody really cares about Flag Day. I mean, it's Flag Day, you know. So, put out your flags this weekend. Your American flag, Canadian flag, Mexican flag, whatever flag you want. And celebrate. Because we have to. But in any case, hope you're having a great day. It's been like I said, it's a very beautiful day here in the Northeast. 80. Right now it's 80. It's supposed to go up to like 82 today. Tomorrow it's supposed to be 90. Ooh. But then, down the drain again. And then like 5 more days of rain. Ugh, I hate this fucking weather. But it is what it is. But wherever you may be, hope the weather is fine and hope you're doing good. And if not, well, too bad. Too bad for that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Gotta get the bull funky out of the way. Let's talk some seriousness. Now, for those of you who are here for the very first time, you're like, hey, where's the metal? You know, you're a Metal God channel, where's the music at? Well, I do have some music-related videos, so just go back a few videos. But 75 to 80% of this channel is tribute videos to the faithful departed in the world of music, movies, sports, wrestling, stuff like that. I just did a video a day or two ago where we lost the rock funk pioneer Sly Stone of Sly and the Family Stone. So check that video out before this one. We lost Rick Derringer, the man who made Pound Driver, you know, Wrestling Album 2, and well, he did a couple of videos for that album. He also did Hulk Hogan's brother, his Real American theme song, so we lost him a little while, about a couple weeks ago. We also lost Sabu, great wrestling legend Sabu. We lost George Wendt, Norm of Cheers. We lost Loretta Swit, who played Hot Lips Houlihan on the great late 70s, early 80s hit TV show MASH. So that's been a great year. We lost a lot of good people. You know, sadly we lost Sabu if you're a wrestling fan, but you know, it is what it is. And I'm not wearing the Undertaker shirt because of, you know, meaning to be mean, but you know, I just like you know, it is what it is. I'm not making fun of the dead or anything. If you think that, fuck you. It's just the first shirt out of my drawer, so you know, what do you want me to do? But anyway, besides all that, all those people, so check those videos out. You know, just go to my channel, check those videos out, leave a comment if you like, whatever you want to do. But anyway, today, I'm floating around on X, or Twitter, or Twatter, whatever you want to call it. And I looked on the side, and usually it's the trending side, and, you know, random things popped up. And then I see Brian Wilson. I'm like, Brian Wilson? That name sounds familiar. I'm like, Brian Wilson, Beach Boys. I'm like, what's going on with him? Did he come out with a new record or something like that? You gotta be careful with some of those, you know, some of the big names, like Ozzy would be on the side, and like, oh, what happened to Ozzy? You know, hopefully not the thing we think of, but, you know, thankfully he's still alive and kicking. At 70, what is he now, 75, 76 years old. Still kicking ass. He's got that concert coming up in about a few weeks from now. The final concert with him and the original members of Black Sabbath. Metallica's going to be there and a whole bunch of bands for the final Ozzy concert. If it is, it is. If it's not, then, you know, it's a lie. Right, Motley Crue? But we move on with that. But yeah. So I looked on the side, and I saw Brian Wilson's name on the trending page. I'm like, what is this about? You know, because I like Brian Wilson, of, you know, the founding father of the Beach Boys. I like the Beach Boys music, you know. You know, I like the Beach Boys music, you know, that, wouldn't it be nice to, you know, that hippie 50s, 60s music, you know, I love, and the ever so popular Kokomo from the 80s and shit. But, so I looked and I'm like, let's see what's going on with Brian Wilson. And, ladies and gentlemen, I am sad to report that founding member of the Beach Boys, Brian Wilson, has passed away today at the age of 82 due to a neurocognitive disorder which is similar or akin to dementia. So it has that dementia realm. So, just sad to report that Brian Wilson didn't found the Beach Boys, he was co-founder of the Beach Boys, has died, his family announced today. He helped pioneer the studio as instrument, influencing generations of musicians in pop and beyond. Was revealed in early 2024 to be living with something related to dementia. And we lost a lot of people to dementia. Terry Funk had dementia, if you're a wrestling fan. The late great Terry Funk passed away due to dementia. So, just sucks to hear that Brian Wilson has passed away due to something similar to dementia. But, that's that. In a statement on his official Facebook page, the family wrote, "We are heartbroken to announce that our beloved father, Brian Wilson, has passed. We are at a loss for words right now. Please respect our privacy at this time as our family is grieving. We realize that we are sharing our grief with the world. Love and mercy." So, and we all know Connie Wilson and the other Wilson sister that formed Wilson Phillips, you know, that's their dad. So sucks for Carney and believe in China Wilson of Wilson Phillips. You know, they lost their dad today, so not a great time for them. So got that. But anyway, let's get some backstory as I always do. Born in England, and I'm taking this from Wikipedia, not from Wikipedia. So don't even think that shit. I take it from actual websites. So anyway, he was born in Inglewood, California, and as we all know, Inglewood up to no good. He formed a band, which was then called the Pendletones, as a teenager with his brothers Dennis and Carl, their cousin Mike Love, that's his actual name, Mike Love, and high school friend Al Jardine. And the first song, Surfin', was released by Candix Records, who changed the band's name to the Beach Boys without their permission. Imagine if they would have kept the name the Pendletones and had all those great hits, like Surfin' USA, Kokomo, and Surfin' and other songs they have. I don't think there would be, you know, the top of the charts back in the 50s and 60s, and, you know, a little bit of the 80s when Kokomo came out. I don't think there'd be the Beach Boys. There'd probably be some other California band. Not like a metal band or anything. Imagine a metal band being called the Beach Boys. That'd be weird. Ladies and gentlemen, the Beach Boys playing your favorite Isley Brothers tunes. I'm sorry, but, you know. But thankfully, you know, even without the band members' permission, they became a pretty good 60s band. Anyway, a year later, the band signed with Capitol. I know a thing or two about those guys. To release its debut Surfin' Safari. The following year, Surfin' USA became the Beach Boys' first top 10 U.S. single. And in 1963, the band released 3 albums, Surfin' USA, Surfer Girl, and Little Deuce Coupe. Little Deuce Coupe. Nice song. And by then, Wilson had started his career as a producer for other musicians. He worked with Jan and Dean, the Costellas, Donna Loren, Sharon Marie, and many others. Your grandparents know about those people. And your parents probably do too. So I was like, who the fuck are those guys? But you ask your parents and your grandparents too. Anyway, 1964, Brian decided to stop touring with the Beach Boys after experiencing a panic attack due to the band's heavy schedule. They were probably touring like Metallica would, you know. no off days. That's sad. He focused on his production. In 1965, started work on the landmark experimental pop album Pet Sounds. I have that album. Wilson was the mastermind behind the Pet Sounds sessions, working alongside famed studio musicians, the Wrecking Crew. Not to be outdone with the Wrecking Crew in wrestling. At the time of its release, Pet Sounds was considered a relative commercial flop and critical failure. Wasn't actually that bad. And in 2004, it was inducted into the Library of Congress's National Recording Registry due to its cultural, historical, and aesthetic significance. So, you thought it was bad. Well, it's in the Library of Congress right now. Good stuff. He planned a follow-up called Smile, which he described as a teenage symphony to God. Okay. But it was scrapped after hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of delays. And it really was kaput in 1967. His role in the band receded, but in 1968 he entered a psychiatric hospital for treatment. Weed. In the years after the release of Pet Sounds, Brian briefly owned and operated a health food store called the Radiant Radish. Probably like some vegan place. He continued to work with the band while struggling with drug and alcohol addiction in the 70s. You gotta love those 70s. I was born in 76, but I was in the tail end of disco. But not with that weed and all the other gubluk, you know. Anyway, after a family intervention into Wilson's deteriorating mental and physical health, became embroiled with the controversial psychologist Eugene Landy. He was in treatment for decades and became the subject of a biographical film called Love and Mercy. The Beach Boys enjoyed a brief resurgence after the 1977 album Love You, but Wilson's health issues persisted, and in 1982, Landy removed him from the band for intensive treatment and exercised increasing control over his finances and creative endeavors. So, damn. The psychiatrist, get out of here, you know? Crazy. Which prompted Brian to release his debut solo album in 1988. And in 1992, following legal action from Carl Wilson and the other members of the Wilson family, Landy's psychology license was revoked, and he received a restraining order. Damn. This is crazy stuff. Do all these drugs and shit, and then you get this wacko says, I'm gonna take your finances and all this other shit. I'm gonna get you out of the band, and you're gonna be mine. And then the family's like, no, fuck you. I don't know, it's just wacky stuff. Anyway, Brian eventually revisited Smile, reworking the archive studio session with Darian Sahanaja to bring the once scrapped project to a live concert, which was Brian Wilson Presents Smile in 2004, which was very well received. He continued to release solo work in the 2000s. His last solo album was 2015's No Peer Pressure. Interesting name, Pierre. But it's supposed to be No Peer Pressure, but something with some French little thing, Pierre, which is Peer Pressure. Oh, I got him. Botched that, I'm sorry. So, no Peer Pressure, spelled P-E-P-I-E-R. I said that in French, I don't know why, but anyway. That featured contributions from Casey Musgraves and Zoe Deschanel. He released a memoir in 2016, and the following year shared Some Sweet Day, a previously unreleased song recorded in the 90s, as well as a new single called Run James Run. Him and the Beach Boys were inducted into the Rock Hall of Fame in 1988. He won 2 Grammy Awards out of 9 nominations. 2 out of 9 is not bad, it's 25%-ish. The Beach Boys were honored in 2001 with the Lifetime Achievement Award at the Grammys. That's very nice. And that's pretty much it. He is survived by his wife, and of course Carney and China Wilson. So, not China Wilson. I'm thinking China Phillips. That's why. So yeah, he's survived by his wife, Carney. His his daughter Connie Wilson, and the other Wilson sister, I forgot her name. But, you know, just a sad day for a great man. I mean, if he didn't co-found the Beach Boys, I don't even think we'd be having, like, that I guess you can call it surfer rock, whatever you want to call it. You wouldn't have songs like Surfing Safari or Surfing USA, or even great songs like Surfing Bird, you know, doing the bird, you know, that a bird is a word, a bird, Surfing Bird, you know, that's by another guy, but, wouldn't have songs like that that talk about the beach and stuff like that, and getting girls, and, you know, in California, the California rock scene, or California pop scene, or whatever you want to call it. Wouldn't have surfer music, but, you know, amidst all his horrible backstory with drugs and booze and just a horrible 60s, 70s, and then kind of get out of it, but then, you know, like I mentioned, his psychiatrist, you know, just basically almost ruined his career. You know, thankfully, the Beach Boys and Brian Wilson's family got him out of that situation with that idiot whack job psychologist. But he still is a man. He was a great man, and he'll gratefully be missed in the rock community. So, as I always do on my Rest in Peace videos, my tribute videos, I like to take a memorial toast to the faithful departed. So, to Brian Wilson, I know you're making some great surfer music up in heaven with, you know, maybe the other members of the Beach Boys that have passed on. So to Brian Wilson, cheers, my friend. Rest in peace. And that's that. Alright, everybody. Thanks for watching. Leave me your thoughts and opinions and memories of Brian Wilson. And we'll talk about, like Trick Willie would say. So, and also, don't forget to watch my Sly Stone of Sly and the Family Stone tribute video back. So watch that. And that's pretty much it. Alright, I gotta get out of here because I do have to go to the doctor. I have to go to physical therapy for a little bit. But I'll be back later on with your official NXT review. It was a pretty interesting show. So we'll talk about that coming up a little bit later today on my Peter Joseph channel. So check that out. Subscribe to my channels. Hit that bell and all that good shit. But that's that. So to Brian Wilson, rest in peace. Thank you for watching. Make sure you live life to 90%, because the other 10% I don't even know about, but live life one day at a time. Take each day as it comes, because we never know when the good Lord upstairs will call our number, because we don't have that number like the Nickelback video. I wish we did, but we don't. But if we all did, then we all know when we're going to die, but then sometimes we die unexpectedly. But, you know, hopefully that doesn't happen to any of us anytime soon. We want to live a good, healthy, clean life, whatever age we are at right now. So take each day as it comes, live life to the fullest, as best as you can, and that's that. Thanks for watching, everybody. God bless you all. Peace.